Have you ever flipped a switch on your gas stove and wondered where that flame actually comes from? It's not magic, it's a fascinating journey that starts deep within the earth and ends right in your home. Today, we're going to trace the incredible path of natural gas, from its ancient origins to the moment it powers our lives. So, let's rewind the clock way back, millions of years ago. Imagine vast oceans teeming with tiny plants and animals. When these organisms died, they sank to the ocean floor and were buried under layers of sand and silt. Over millions of years, the immense pressure and heat from the Earth's crust transformed this organic matter into what we now know as fossil fuels, including natural gas. This gas is trapped in porous rock formations deep underground, like water in a sponge. These underground pockets are called reservoirs. But how do we get it out? This is where the first step of our journey begins: exploration and production. Geologists are like detectives for the Earth. They use sophisticated tools like seismic imaging, which send sound waves deep into the ground. By analyzing how these waves bounce back, they can create a detailed map of the underground layers and identify potential natural gas reservoirs. It's like using a superpowered ultrasound to see beneath the surface. Once a promising spot is found, the drilling process starts. A massive drill rig is set up, and it drills a well thousands of feet deep to reach the reservoir. Think of it as drilling a very, very long and narrow straw into the earth. When the drill penetrates the gas-bearing rock, the pressure difference forces the natural gas to rush up the well to the surface. This is the production phase, but the gas that comes out isn't ready to use just yet. It's called raw natural gas, and it's a mix of different components. The main ingredient we want is methane, but it's often mixed with other hydrocarbons like ethane and propane, as well as impurities like water vapor, carbon dioxide, and sulfur. Using this raw gas directly would be inefficient and could even damage our appliances. So, the next stop on our journey is the processing plant. The raw gas is sent here through a network of smaller pipelines called gathering lines. At the plant, it undergoes a series of treatments. First, the water and other liquids are separated out. Then, impurities like carbon dioxide and sulfur are removed. This step is crucial because sulfur compounds can be corrosive and harmful. After the gas is cleaned, it goes through a process called fractional distillation. The gas is cooled to extremely low temperatures, causing the different hydrocarbons to turn into liquids at different points. This allows operators to separate the valuable components like propane and butane, which are often sold separately for things like BBQ grills and lighters. What is left is primarily methane, the clean burning pipeline quality natural gas that's ready for the next leg of its journey. Now we have pure natural gas, but it could be thousands of miles away from the cities and homes that need it. How do we move such a massive volume of gas across continents? The answer is a vast, invisible highway, the interstate pipeline system. This is the transmission stage. Natural gas is compressed to a very high pressure, which allows it to flow efficiently through large-diameter steel pipelines. These pipelines crisscross the country, running underground through all sorts of terrain, deserts, mountains, and even under rivers. To keep the gas moving over long distances, compressor stations are placed every 40 to 100 miles along the pipeline. These stations act like booster pumps, repressurizing the gas to maintain its flow. The entire pipeline network is monitored 24/7 from a central control room. Highly skilled operators use advanced technology to track the pressure, flow rate, and quality of the gas in real time. They can even operate valves remotely to control the flow and ensure everything is running safely and efficiently. It's a highly sophisticated and secure system. But what if you need to transport natural gas across an ocean? You can't exactly build a pipeline from Texas to Japan. This is where liquefied natural gas, or LNG, comes in. To create LNG, natural gas is cooled to about -260 degrees Fahrenheit. At this incredibly cold temperature, the gas turns into a clear, colorless liquid. Why go through all this trouble? Because liquefaction shrinks the volume of the gas by about 600 times. That's like shrinking a giant beach ball down to the size of a soccer ball. This condensed liquid can then be loaded onto massive, specially designed LNG carrier ships. These ships are essentially giant thermoses, keeping the LNG cold during its long voyage across the sea. Once the LNG carrier reaches its destination, it docks at a regasification terminal. Here, The LNG is slowly warmed up, turning it back into a gas. This regasified natural gas is then fed into the local pipeline network, ready for distribution. LNG has made natural gas a truly global energy source, connecting supply and demand across continents. So, the gas has traveled across the country or the ocean. It's now reached the outskirts of your city or town. This is where the final stage begins: distribution. The high-pressure gas from the transmission pipelines enters what's called a city gate station. Here, the pressure is reduced significantly to a safer level for distribution within the local community. Also, an important safety measure is added. Natural gas is naturally odorless and colorless. So, at the city gate, a chemical called mercaptan is added. This chemical has a very distinct, strong smell, like rotten eggs. This is done so that if there's a gas leak, you can smell it immediately and take action. From the city gate, the gas flows into a network of smaller pipelines, known as distribution mains, which run under the streets of your neighborhood. Think of it like the circulatory system of a city, with the main arteries branching out into smaller vessels. These mains are typically made of steel or durable plastic. Finally, even smaller service lines branch off from the mains and connect directly to individual homes, businesses, and factories. Before entering your house, the gas passes through a meter. This meter measures the amount of gas you use, which is what the utility company uses to calculate your bill. Inside your home, a network of pipes delivers the gas to your appliances, your furnace, water heater, stove, or fireplace. And that's it, the final step of this epic journey. From a tiny marine organism millions of years ago to being trapped deep within the earth, extracted, processed, and transported thousands of miles, the gas finally arrives at your home, ready to provide heat, cook your food, or warm your water at the flick of a switch. The logistics of natural gas are a marvel of modern engineering, involving geology, chemistry, and massive infrastructure. It's a complex and coordinated dance that happens continuously, day and night, to power our world. So the next time you turn on your stove, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey that little blue flame has taken to get to you. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey as fascinating as I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into how our world works. See you in the next video.